Welcome back to Mira Business FM. You are listening to Daybreak with me, Inzamam Rashid. And finally, we have the senior editor of Khaleej Times, Mazhar Farooqui, joining us on the line. He's the author of the Maz Files as well. Mazhar, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
So Mazhar, tell us a bit about, firstly, about from a journalistic perspective, all the details of what happened with Operation Pink Diamond. To me, it sounds like something which is straight out of a Netflix documentary in a way.
It absolutely is. And the bizarre thing is that just 2 days back, I was watching this fascinating documentary on Netflix about a diamond heist. And this looks straight from the movie. And Dubai has consistently shown that it is no place for criminals. Like, you can come in and steal, but you cannot run away. And this is not the first time. They have done it time and again. And we put together an article explaining how they have, on numerous occasions, managed to catch these thief, whether it was the Wafi Mall grab and heist, and there's so many of them.
So yes. Talking about this one in particular, Mazhar, when I was looking at the details that Dubai police had released, they said that these people, these suspects, they had hired out very nice fancy cars, supercars. They had invited the seller to several meetings in very nice hotels. They had even hired someone to verify the diamond, a diamond expert, to verify the diamond. This was a proper pre-planned operation that had taken place in order for them to make the seller believe that they were real, genuine people.
Absolutely, and that is their modus operandi. I remember a very famous case back in the day when they used exactly the same modus operandi to lure an Arab guy to one of the most fancy hotels in Dubai. I'm not going to name that hotel. And there this guy was killed. It was very unfortunate, but someone actually lost his life while being lured in a similar circumstances. Of course, those people were caught. So, these conmen, they are masters of deceit. They know the playbook and they use it just to gain credibility. So they have this whole charade of getting experts, using fancy cars, and trying to look legitimate. And they thought they will get away with it.
There's a few things, Mazhar, that I want to pick up with you on. We'll go through some of the 10 times that Dubai foiled jewellery heist that you have listed in this article for the Khaleej Times very shortly. Well, I also want to get your take on the Dubai police. You work very closely with the Dubai police as an investigative journalist in this part of the world, and so I want to get your take on that shortly. But I think the big question is that many people look to Dubai and think, it's a very safe country, safe for children, all that kind of stuff. And yes, on the whole, it absolutely is a very, very safe country. But it also means that things like this can happen because there is so much wealth here. You've got one of the most beautiful diamonds in the world, a 21.5 carat pink diamond, like the Pink Panther, here in Dubai. This is the only place kind of in the world you're going to get this kind of stuff coming through. So the safety element, there is still an element of risk here in Dubai.
I'm glad you mentioned the pink diamond and the Pink Panther because back in the day, I think it was 2007. And I remember clear as daylight that we got woken up about this bizarre heist at the Wafi Mall, where these criminals smashed in 2 cars into the showroom and grabbed these very expensive diamonds and fled. But Dubai police, working with Interpol and European officers, they caught them. So as Dubai, as you said rightly, it's a very glamorous city. It attracts startups, investors, business owners, people who are willing to buy property. But unfortunately, it also attracts some criminals who think they're going to come here and take away these objects of desire and then run away.
So this one in Wafi Mall, this happened in April 2007. You said you
That's
got a
right.
phone call about when this happened. Just tell us what that phone call was at the time. What information were you given, and when you went to the scene, what you saw?
Yeah, so this was April 2007, and I think I used to work with Gulf News back then, and we did not have the kind of communication that we have today in terms of WhatsApp and all. And we got a call about, I think it was past 10, I can't remember, that there is something happening at the Wafi Mall. And then some of the sources told us that there has been a jewelry theft. So one would assume that someone would want to grab something or steal something. And who would have thought that these criminals will actually use cars to smash into the showroom? And they were so clever and innovative that instead of smashing the car from the front side, because that would have activated the airbags, they reversed the car, smashed into the showroom through the parking, and the visuals of the car inside the mall remain entrenched into my memory, because when the police released these pictures, we said, "Oh my God, what is this?" The cars actually inside the mall. And of course, they managed to run away. They fled. They changed the cars. They got a Nissan, I think it was, which they burned somewhere near Zabil Park. But one of the guy was arrested right away. Uh, and then, of course, we found out that it was the famous Pink Panther gang, which has a history of stealing these diamonds.
I'm just looking at the pictures now. I'm looking at the pictures now of the cars. There's a white Audi and a black Audi, literally like as if they're parked in the middle of Wafi Mall. That's just a pretty crazy scene. What was it like covering the story at that time? Did you? I mean, this would have been the first kind of big major one that happened here in Dubai. Was there a worry that things like this could happen again?
Of course, it was shocking by all accounts. Like, I mean, you don't see cars in the middle of the mall, and to be able to grab these very high end jewelry. So, but we also had the firm belief in the Dubai police that they will catch these people. And the best thing about this case is that Dubai police never gave up. So from 2007 to 2015, they managed to get the suspects back.
Wow.
They had gone to Spain, and they managed to get them back.
So they extradited them from Spain and then
Yes.
managed to get them back.
After almost
Wow.
8 years. Yeah, after almost 8 years. And the jewelry was recovered. I mean, it was such a proud moment when we reported that the jewelry has been recovered. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, let's move on to the next one. There was a villa raid in Jumeirah in July 2015. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, this again was very interesting. This was, I think, 2015, where a bunch of criminals from various countries they barged into this villa in Jumeirah, and they stole jewelry and watches. I think it was worth 2 million, if I'm not mistaken, and they were caught before they could leave the country. That was they had covered their bases. They had a forged passport and everything, and they had actually gotten quite far, but they were arrested.
And so the next one then, this is taking you to Sharjah. This is in May 2016. And of course, Malabar, one of the biggest gold companies here in the UAE, India, of course. They had a late night burglary at their showroom in Sharjah.
I remember going to the crime scene when this happened, and again, as I said, it was like out of the movie, where you have this very famous gold chain, and the criminals managed to get into this and stole it. But as I said, Dubai police, you can run, but not for long. So before they could leave the city, they were caught. So this happened in Sharjah, but because of the close coordination between Dubai police and Sharjah police, they coordinated and they intercepted these criminals, I think somewhere in Jebel Ali port, and they were caught. One incident that I forgot to write in this report, and I'm going to tell your listeners, is about this very famous case where jewelers stole jewelry from not Dubai, but from Bombay.
Ah.
And they're using a connecting flight from Dubai to fly to another country. And as soon as Dubai police got wind of it, they caught them at the airport while they had actually boarded the plane. So imagine you're sitting in the plane, you're very happy, okay, you managed to get away from it. You've strapped your seat belts and everything. You're looking at the in-flight menu, and look who comes inside, Dubai police.
Wow.
So that was quite to remember.
That's very interesting. And this is, I mean, this seemed to be a regular occurrence around 2016, as the one you mentioned there, the Malabar gold break-in. Then there was Operation Snap Lighting, where an Arab man attempted to obtain 35 million dirhams worth of gold using 4 checks.
Yeah.
That was November 16. I mean, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, I mean, there have been so many stories, but what I fail to understand is criminals should learn that Dubai is not the place that you want to mess around with, Look at the track record. So in this case, the operation was codenamed Snap Lightning, and I remember Dubai police also releasing a video of this case. So they had fled to Oman, and of course, because of the close relationship and how Dubai police works with various countries, so they were arrested and brought back and put where they belong, which is behind bars. So.
And then I think, so it seems that this one, the latest one, this pink diamond, seems to be the biggest heist, I think, or attempted heist, with 25 million US dollars, the price of the diamond. But there was one, Mazhar, in 2018, and this was the recovery of a 9.33 carat blue diamond, which they say was worth $20 million. Can you tell us a bit about that case? And that at the time would have been a huge story given the price of this diamond.
Absolutely. I mean, when the police released the picture of the diamond, we said, "Oh my God, this looks like perfect for for a king's throne." So it was absolutely a dazzling piece. But what was very interesting is that this precious diamond was being hidden in a shoebox, and they were so good at what they did is that the remarkable thing about this case is that Dubai police went through 8,620 hours of surveillance footage.
Wow!
Imagine 8,620 hours of surveillance footage, and they questioned over 100 people before they were able to catch the suspects. And they had, of course, fled to another emirate. Had switched out their phones so that they could not be traced. But again, as I said, they were living in they did not know what the Dubai police will catch them no matter what they do.
Yeah, and the gem was finally returned to where it was stolen from. What have you noticed, Mazhar, over the years about Dubai police and the way that they operate in terms of these kind of thefts or attempted thefts, and in terms of how they manage to get these items back and also find the suspects who've carried out these thefts? Do they have more kind of technology and more information at their disposal in order for them to be able to carry out these investigations quickly?
Absolutely. I mean, see, Dubai is known as the safest city in the world, and we know why, right? I mean, the kind of surveillance we have almost every street covered by cameras, and now we have AI and stuff. So criminals think that they are one step ahead. No, they are not. Especially with the new age technologies and all, which Dubai police is very quick to adapt. They use these, and it is not just about this jewelry heist. There have been so many instances where people have been caught within minutes of the crime. So, and we see this time and again.
And what is it about the Dubai police in terms of their ability to do it so quick? This latest one we've seen, they managed to catch the criminals within just 8 hours. That's the remarkable thing about this story, is that from the time that the call was made by the people who were selling the diamond to the police, just within 8 hours later, they'd caught all three of these thieves, and they'd also recovered the diamond from a fridge.
See, as I said, I mean, we have had instances where the way police have caught people within minutes. I will recount one instance. This was again back in the day when one of our colleagues, she was coming back from work late night. And as she was trying to step into her apartment, someone stopped near her and tried to, so she said to him that, look, don't mess with me, I'm going to call the way police. And she did call the way police, but as soon as she dialed the number, this guy fled away in a car. So when 1 minute later, she got a call back from the way police, and they asked her what happened. She said, look, there was this guy who was trying to trouble me. Police said, we have already caught him. In less than 2 minutes, he was caught. So because the patrolling is so good, and because you have alert officers and the communication network is so good, so 8 hours, I think, it is. We have instances that will have been caught. Murder suspects have been caught within 2 hours, 3 hours, and there have been so many times. So,
Mazhar, do you think that people then look to Dubai? Obviously, this place which we all know is incredibly safe for its residents, but do you think these kind of stories encourages people? That look, Dubai police are very on it, so there's nothing to worry about. Like they will, catch these people, very quickly. Or do you think people will look to Dubai and go, actually, well, if Dubai is a place of, flashy kind of lifestyle and diamonds being stolen and all this kind of stuff, do you think people will worry about that, or is it the other way around?
see, these aren't one-off successes, and that is the why we just put together 10 of these stories. We have had instances where influencers leave their precious, stuff like wallets, their jewelry on tables, unattended on cars, and then you come back, it's there. So Dubai has always, when we say Dubai is the safest city, it is. Mm-hmm. And that's been proved time and again. So anyone coming to Dubai or listening to this thing, they can be completely assured that street crime, zero. The likelihood of anyone mugging you on the streets, like I was in the West just on holidays. And when you live in Dubai, you are accustomed to some kind of security environment. So I leave my wallet at the table and the hotel tells you, sir, you can't do this. In 5-star hotels and restaurants, there are signs saying,
keep your belongings,
there are warning signs saying, this is a high prone pickpocket area.
Yeah, you are responsible for your own
Absolutely.
items. Yeah,
I can't imagine this kind of thing happening in Dubai.
Coming from the UK, and someone who has experience of being mugged in the streets of Manchester, in London as well, you just don't have that worry here in Dubai whatsoever. But I do sometimes think that if these big diamonds and these kind of big products are being lured into a city like this, that's the reason that police do have that extra surveillance, whether they are putting more time into making sure that it is the safest city in the world. Mazhar, listen, stay there. We're going to go to the headlines very shortly, and then I just want to pick your brains on your role as an investigative journalist with Khaleej Times, so stick around. This is Mira Business FM, your latest headlines. Merger and acquisition activity across the Middle East reached nearly $59 billion in the first half of 2025, reflecting a 20% annual increase. The UAE and Saudi Arabia are leading this surge with key deals in the chemicals and tech sectors. Turkish Airlines will acquire a minority stake in Spain's Air Europa, valued at $300 million, around $349 million. The investment will largely be via capital increase. The exact stake percentage will be finalised after financial adjustments. The transaction is expected to close within 6 to 12 months upon approval. Banks in the UAE processed a staggering 9.53 trillion dirhams via the UAE funds transfer system over the first 5 months of 2025. This includes an almost 6 trillion dirhams in bank-initiated transfers and just under 4 trillion dirhams in customer-initiated transfers. Check clearances also scored with 603 billion dirhams worth cleared through images. SoftBank has injected $2 billion into Intel, acquiring a nearly 2% stake at $23 per share, prompting an over 5% jump in the stock. Concurrently, the Trump administration is negotiating to take a 10% equity stake in Intel, likely by converting grants under the CHIPS Act into non-voting stock. And finally, Google will pay $30 million to settle a US class action lawsuit. The case alleged that YouTube unlawfully collected personal data from children under the age of 13 for targeted advertising. The agreement requires court approval. That's the latest business headlines. We'll have more in 30 minutes.
Mira Business FM.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Daybreak with me, Inzamam Rashid, on Mira Business FM. Welcome back. We are speaking and in conversation, a thrilling conversation with Mazhar Farooqui. He's the senior editor of Khaleej Times, also the author of the Maz Files. And the reason we're talking to Mazhar is because of the recent pink diamond heist, which Dubai police managed to foil. A 91.8 million dirham diamond, a rare diamond, which is around 21 carats, was stolen by 3 thieves. Dubai police managed to retrieve it within just 8 hours and arrest the 3 suspects as well. It's a fascinating story, something that you'd find out of a Netflix documentary or a film, given that they lured in the sellers of the diamond with fancy cars, high-end luxury cars, taking them to luxury hotels, and then inviting the seller finally to a villa where they snatched the diamond and tried to flee the country. But of course, Dubai police stepping in and within 8 hours managing to catch the offenders. Now, Mazhar Farooqui has covered many stories like this over the years during his time as a journalist in the United Arab Emirates, as an investigative journalist as well. We've been hearing from him from the top 10 heists that have been foiled or Dubai police have been involved in trying to retrieve some of the diamonds and the information, one of them being the Wafi Mall incident back in 2007, where 2 cars rammed into the mall and tried to steal a load of jewelry from one of the shops there. But Mazhar, I want to talk to you a bit about your work as an investigative journalist, and this kind of links into theft and Dubai police getting involved. There are obviously a lot of scams that happen in the UAE and Dubai in particular as well. Yes, this is a scam that we've seen in the physical term. They've snatched a physical item and tried to run away. But there are a lot of scams that happen digitally as well. And you do a lot of work investigating scams across the UAE. How much of a big issue is it in Dubai?
Unfortunately, it is, as I said, the likelihood of anyone mugging you on the street or that is zero. But cybercrime is rampant. And according to estimates given by the Security Council in Dubai, we have had almost 200,000 cases of cybercrime happening daily.
Wow.
So these are targeting critical sectors. So I don't want to sound like a doomsday kind of warning, but according to stats, the we are staring at a tsunami of cyber crimes. And they are so varied, like from phishing scam to security breaches to ransomware. Um, we don't have the latest figures, but in 2020, when alone Dubai, UAE lost 1.4 billion to cyber attacks, and that number has increased dramatically. Um, my job as a journalist at Khaleej Times and before with other publication is to create awareness around these scams, um, especially investment scam and the one around forex. Recently, we did a story that led to a huge crackdown uh, against cyber compounds across the UAE, and then we did another story where we have seen call centers operating across Dubai and pitching dodgy forex schemes to residents.
Yeah.
And people losing a huge amount of money. My biggest concern is about these people not trying to see which companies are regulated, and especially with the crypto industry and things around metaverse and NFTs. It's
Anything.
a whole wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
I mean, it is so ridiculous.
Can I ask, Mazhar, what's the reason that scammers are targeting Dubai in particular? Yeah, from the UK, I know there are many scammers there as well that specifically target the older generation who don't necessarily know how to work their mobile phones or whatever, take a call or are easy to get hold of. But why are scammers specifically targeting the UAE? What's the reason behind that?
See, because the likelihood of people having a lot of money in Dubai and looking to invest money is far more than any other place. And I'll give you one example, which was as recent as 2 days back. 2 days back, we reported a story about an individual losing $800,000 to a meme coin called Bao Bao Panda. Now, I mean, you would want to laugh on it, but imagine $800,000 is like over 2 million dirhams, approximately. And all what this guy had was a paper which had a AI-generated panda mascot and a very fancy story around it, that this panda is like AI-driven and it will be tokenized and there will be so much money that you can make, you can double the money. Now imagine if you go to the authorities and say that we lost money in something called Pao Pao Panda.
They would laugh at you.
Paid the money through USDT. It's difficult to track that. Also, we have seen many a times when people click on dodgy emails, one thing that we see almost on a daily basis is we go across social media, we see a post offering a popular burger chain for like 1/3 the price. You click on it, it takes you on a landing page which is spoofed, looks very similar. You enter your details, it's gone, your money is gone.
Wow.
And secondly, what we have seen is there's a lot of Ponzi schemes happening where they say that they're going to double your money. And despite repeated warning from the regulatory body, which here is ESCA, Dubai Police, even the Ministry of Interior, as recently as a couple of months back, they issued a warning saying, please do not invest in schemes which are not regulated in the UAE. But people fall for these fancy brochures and fancy pitches and offer of doubling your money. And because for the first couple of months, they see the income coming in, they believe that it is legitimate and they fall for it.
So in your conversations, Mazhar, that you've had with Dubai Police and the other authorities, is there an active mission to stamp out this kind of digital scamming that's happening in Dubai? Are they putting more and more effort, time, even money into trying to make Dubai a safe place digitally?
Well, of course they are, but as I said, because this is an evolving sphere where every few days you have new technologies coming in. Now you have deep fake, which is again, we have seen videos of people in power, their videos have been morphed with deep fake, and they are pitching investment scheme. People fall for it. So education is the key, and no matter what you do, and also because a lot of people come to Dubai every few days, so even if you write something, they wouldn't know. It's a very transient population, so we still have people coming to us falling for the Nigerian prince scam. And I said, like, what can you do about this? It completely beats me. People are still falling for this Etisalat lottery scam.
Yeah, very interesting. The lottery is another interesting thing, given that it was recently officially brought into the UAE, but it seems that many scammers have jumped on that hype and have created their own network to scam people, thinking that is the national lottery that has been launched and backed by the UAE government.
Yeah, I think the biggest area that of concern right now is Forex, because we wrote a story some time back where we found out that companies based not just in the UAE but outside the UAE, they are buying data of individuals, and they have given a script which they read out, and they are making hundreds of calls every day. I mean, not hundreds, but thousands of calls every day. Imagine 1,000 individuals across call centers in the UAE as well as abroad, and they have a list of names and numbers, and they're making thousands of calls every day from all day.
And it just takes one of them to say okay, and they have the details.
Yeah, yes. And what they do initially is that they first lure you with small profits, and you say, oh, this is good. And because it is so complex, they will have a screen in which your profit is going up, and then you can withdraw the money, and then they will pitch it with saying, oh, this is a good time to invest. Whoosh, everything is gone. And you can't do anything because these platforms are dodgy. I mean, they are registered in some godforsaken place which we don't even know about. We don't even know whether they're regulated. And then you end up losing good money on bad money in terms of hiring a lawyer and stuff. Because once you've given the money and it has gone outside the country.
So, Mazhar,
historically,
just returning to the heist, we're coming to the end of our time with you. But obviously, as I mentioned, this seems like it's something out of a Netflix drama or a documentary. You were even watching a Netflix show about a diamond heist recently, just before this news was released by Dubai police. Do you think this is something that could feature, or even the attempted heists over the years here in Dubai? Could you see someone making a bit of a drama out of it all?
Yes, absolutely. Why not? In fact, Dubai police, I think, has in the past, and I think in this time also, they have released video. So, yeah, I mean, it has all the potential. Glamorous city, expensive pink diamond, and then so it has got all the elements.
Who would you have playing you? The journalist who arrives at the scene. Who would play Mazhar Farooqui?
I don't know, someone good looking and tall.
Maybe Shah Rukh Khan. Maybe they could get Shah Rukh Khan in. Who knows?
Yeah, a bit old.
Mazhar, look, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. I know you're very busy on the road and keeping your nose to the ground with your ear to the ground with all the stories. So thank you very much. A very, very interesting conversation, and hopefully we'll have you back soon on Mira Business FM.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mazhar.
Thank you.
Mazhar Farooqui there, the senior editor of Khaleej Times, the author of the Maz Files as well, talking to us about a list that he put together on Khaleej Times of a number of jewellery thefts that had happened across the UAE. There seemed to be a few around 2015, 2016, but the latest one is the largest of them all that we were reporting yesterday here on Mira Business FM, $25 million for the pink diamond that was stolen by 3 thieves. The police managed to catch them just within 8 hours. A fascinating story indeed. You're listening to Mira Business FM. This is Daybreak with me, Inzamam Rashid. We'll be back very shortly.